This might be one of the most important videos I've ever made, as well as maybe one of the most controversial. Controversial both because I can't concretely prove the theory I'm about to tell you, and because people in the spiritual community, by and large, don't all agree with this perspective. And that's why I think it's so important to talk about it. And it's about what happens when we manifest from our fears. Earlier today, I was sent this video of Representative Chris Murphy from Connecticut talking about what's happening now with the assumed president-elect making some wild claims and on the way to making some dramatic changes. And here's what he said.
What is happening right now is that Donald Trump and his billionaire advisors are unfolding for the country in real time a plan to transition this country from a democracy to a restrictive oligarchy, where political opposition is silenced, where the media isn't free, and where government just exists to enrich a small cabal of elites that surround the man in charge.
I want to point out one key phrase he says at the end. A small cabal of elites. Does that phrase sound familiar to you? That phrase has been floating around in spiritual communities for years. In addition to talk of certain extraterrestrial species that might be here pulling the strings, in addition to horrific talk about certain humans and rumors that they are consuming the lifeblood of infants, etc., to gain power, and many others. But these rumors center around that concept that there is a cabal of elites who are controlling everything. Whether you've heard this or not, whether you believe it or not, I ask you to kindly set that aside and hear me out for what I'm about to say. Every time I've heard talk of this over the years, it sickens me, it disgusts me, because my intuition, my discernment is telling me that that is not true. And yet the beliefs persist. Okay, fine. There are beliefs across the board, they're not for everyone. Fine. But now here we are, all these years in. And what if, because of these collective beliefs in a cabal of controller beings, what if we have now collectively manifested that because we've insisted on believing it? Let that sink in for a moment. Because when you hear psychics and mystics talking about being responsible for your energy, being responsible for your creations, stepping into your divine creator energy, what we need you to know and understand is that we don't just manifest the fun things, the good things. We are constantly creating the reality around us. And that's both positive and negative. You can't have one without the other. Both are true. I very specifically did a group circle on this. It was called the Full Woo 2 Humanity's Choice Point. And I talked about this and I channeled messages about this. It's so important to understand that we are always creating. And right now, while the energies are streaming in, we're feeling them and we're anchoring new energies, the message from Spirit was very clear. We are going to begin manifesting almost instantaneously, in addition to being able to finally physically manifest the things we've been desiring and putting energy toward for many years now. That time is now, and it's only going to get more potent in the future. In the future, we are going to be instantly manifesting things. So this process right now, people have called it the split, the migration to 5D, the two different dimensions we're going to be pushed into. People who cannot get control over their manifestations, over their creator energy, people who refuse to do battle with fear, who are giving into fear, who are manifesting from their fears, are not going to be welcomed into the fifth dimensional, higher dimensional, the new earth, not into that consciousness, if they cannot manage their divine manifesting abilities and if they are still creating from fear. Now, I'm not saying this to further frighten anybody and to make you feel like it's all your responsibility to create the future. No. But what I need you to understand, and what Spirit has been barreling through me to communicate, is that you need to become aware that you're doing this. And if you're not yet in a position to conquer your fear, which I understand, you've heard me talk about times in the past where I couldn't. It's not your responsibility to conquer it overnight. It's your responsibility to become aware of the fact that you will create through your fear. We all do. That is a condition of this earth. And it is now your job to learn how to manage that. And if it takes time, it takes time. That's okay. But you need to understand and take responsibility for this act. Now, the good news is we are creating the new future. We are creating the new earth where people are learning to care for each other and manifest from love and not from fear. That has been prophesied for millennia. Every culture has their version of this prophecy. Whether you want to call it 5D, New Earth, the Divine Feminine Timeline, the future of humanity where we finally learn to love each other, the millennia, what do they call it in religion? The new millennium, doesn't matter. We are creating it. We are moving toward it. And right now, this chaos in the world right now is pushing everyone to their choice point. What are you going to choose? It's not your responsibility to create the whole world. It is your responsibility to do your healing, to look inside, to take responsibility for where your energy is going and for where your fears are dragging you and how much power you give your fears. Now, I understand not everyone is psychologically healthy enough to be able to make this switch easily. I understand that. That's why we have so many beautiful ways to help people psychologically and spiritually. Get whatever help you need. If it's therapy, if it's trauma healing, if it's medication, whatever feels right to you. Take your healing seriously, because when you're still in wounding and you have unresolved wounding, that's what keeps you in your fear. Healing the wounds, releasing the wounds is what allows you to move out of that fear easily. This is why I keep talking about healing. I keep offering my healing circles. They are incredibly powerful. You would not believe the emails I'm getting from people and the miraculous experiences they're having. And I'm offering this to you. $5 a piece. You guys have no idea how cheap that is, because I know what Spirit has told me. We are moving ahead. The opportunity is now to ascend, to evolve. We are being given that choice point. And I want everyone to have the opportunity to heal and release and move forward out of fear and come with us on the New Earth timeline. So what you can begin to do right now in this moment, when the fear comes up, just simply acknowledge it. Oh, I see you. Yes, I'm afraid. I'm very afraid. I see that. Thank you, Spirit, God, guardian angels, universe, whatever your belief system is. Thank you for showing me what I need to work on. Now, please help me release it. Every time your fear comes up, see it. Oh, I see you. That's fear. I'm afraid. Okay, thank you. But I don't need to create from fear. Universe, please help me create from love. That's really all you have to do. And again, I am someone who battled mental health issues for literal decades of my life. I understand this struggle more than you know. And that's how I began my healing journey. My psychiatrist told me I needed to start a gratitude journey. I needed to start rewiring my neurons so I would look for the positive instead of being stuck in the negative. It took a lot of work, but I did it. And then when I discovered energy healing and spiritual healing, I accelerated. And now I'm this giddy, silly, joyful person you see now. I've done the work, so I know you can too. And in the meantime, while you're doing the work, just know that there are those of us who are holding the light for you. We've done our work. We've got this. We are showing you the possibilities of how good this can get. Your fear doesn't have to be true. That doesn't have to be your reality. We see another reality. We're creating that reality. We invite you to join us. Just come sit with us at the lunch table. Just hang out. Just have fun with us. Just feel our peace. You may not be convinced yet. You may not feel peace yet. That's okay. Just come sit with us. Let it rub off on you a little. We are powerful, potent, divine creators. We are vessels of divine energy. We can create a better future. We are creating a better future, but you have to believe and you have to get out of your fear. Come join us. Come do the work. We're going to get there together.